It's green and white in this neck of the woods today as they muscle up, swell up, and get excited as fifth-year senior Dan Enos leads the Michigan State Spartan offense into the stadium against #1 ranked Notre Dame. Michigan State will have the football first. The relative strengths and weaknesses as we perceive them prior to the kickoff. Bob Greasy.
Well, for Michigan State offensively, when they have the ball, their strength is a fifth-year senior Enos and a veteran receivers, including Courtney Hawkins, who was all Big Ten last year as a sophomore. Notre Dame is strong up front, but the experience is in the secondary without Todd Light, the All-American, in the lineup due to a hamstring injury. 4 new starters. The weakness for Notre Dame is in the secondary.
Michigan State receivers on this opening kickoff will be Brian Winters, number 82, and Courtney Hawkins, number 5. Hawkins is the principal man. They like to have returned the ball. Tony Rowland is also back there as the third man, but in the middle, the man they want to get it is the wideout, Courtney Hawkins. He caught only 1 ball in the opening game against Syracuse as they doubled him, but it was caught late in the game and set up the field goal that tied for the Spartans. Craig Hentrick, a sophomore out of Godfrey, Illinois, will kick it off for the Irish, and the game is on. Hawkins at the 1. If he'd have come up the middle, he had a little crack. He chose to get help on the outside. It wasn't there, and the Spartans don't have very good field position for the first snap. It'll be just short of the 15-yard line. Threat of rain exists. However, we start in bright sunshine, and it may stay dry until this one is done, with rain coming later on in the evening. There's the weather story as we begin.
Big story there is the wind. Very windy out here.
Bradley and Hawkins are the wideout. Tico Duckett is the tailback, and Enos sets him up. Going to throw on the first play of the ball game. And he erases the memory of last week for Courtney Hawkins as he throws very quickly to Hawkins and moves it up near the sticks. Rob Roy is the fullback, big guy on the split back lineup. He's a prime receiver himself. There's really great speed in the 2 wideouts, Hawkins and Bradley. The forward wall is big. It's just that, a wall averaging over 280 pounds. First down as Michigan State now gets a little more real estate to work with, and Duckett carries into the middle. He bounces around a lot, but he bounced that time right into number 37, Scott Kolakowski, and he took care of him. Defensively for Michigan State, they start with 3 down guys of George Williams, Notre Dame rather, for Chris Zorich anchors the middle with George Williams and Bob Dahl. George Williams coming back after a year off and yet really to hit his stride. The linebackers you see there, and Michael Stonebreaker also coming after a year off. With the secondary, this is where Michigan State may find some weaknesses. Hyland Hickson is in the backfield for the Spartans as Enos throws down the middle. Pass caught by Bradley, up across the 40 to the 41, and a first down. Now let's go back to the defensive secondary for just a second. You've got Greg Lane, a freshman from Austin, Texas, number 33. You've got George Poorman, 27 in there, along with Greg Davis at the 2 safeties. That's a junior and senior. Reggie Brooks is a sophomore, and he literally is learning to play the defensive secondary himself.
Brooks, number 41, right there. This ball was thrown behind Bradley. He actually stopped to make a good catch.
So it's first down for the Spartans, and they go to Hyland Hickson, who is a 220-pound senior out of Fort Lauderdale, and he will pick up about 4 yards over the 45. So Michigan State now moving the ball some. In the game against Michigan last week, in the second possession particularly, I thought the Michigan offensive front would just knocking Notre Dame right out of the line of scrimmage. And right here early in the ball game, the Michigan State offensive front is moving them around too.
Well, they've thrown 2 passes going after the secondary. It's not to say Michigan State doesn't feel like they can run.
Enos going back to the air, throws for the marker. Pass is caught right on the marker. It'll be close to another first down. At the Notre Dame 49-yard line, Courtney Hawkins making the catch. And the catch is good for the first down, and first time today on the Irish side of the field. Zorich in the middle at 6'1", 265. Anchored by Williams, 295, and Dahl, 260 on each side of him. But Zorich may be one of the most intense football players I've ever seen. Tremendously strong.
And he's the key to that defense. The state coaches said, we got to stop him, control him.
There's enough penetration. Now that comes from your outside backer, or the man who literally plays in a defensive end position, Kowalkowski. And he reaches in there and gets a piece of Hickson coming by. But look at the play inside with the number 50 Zorich in the white.
50, the center is 68 is Peterson. He's a Notre Dame transfer. That time they got Zorich out of the play, but the linebackers were up to make the stop.
Enos is now 3 for 3 in passing, 30 yards, and those 3 have been good for 3 first downs. They're looking now at second down and about 9 from the Irish 48. Protection is good. The pass is underthrown. The pass was intended for the tight end, number 29, Dwayne Young, who is a 260-pounder.
Michael Stonebreaker on the play for Notre Dame.
Pass was not on target. First possession of the ball game for either team. The Irish won the toss. They deferred. And Michigan State handling the ball right now as Rob Roy comes in at the fullback position. And again, if they go to split backs, he becomes a prime receiver, and that's the formation they're in right now. Number 27. Enos rolls away from him, keeps it up the middle. Ball is down near the 41-yard line. Stonebreaker on the tackle for the Irish. You're going to see that quarterback draw today. You're going to see a lot of draw plays if the Notre Dame defensive people penetrate and charge.
Wasn't a great series for Enos. He just a little bit nervous. Some of the throws were a little bit behind the receivers. Maybe got a little anxious there, but not surprised here that Perlis would punt this ball away. He wants to give his defense good field position.
On 4th and 2, Josh Butlin in to kick it. Gets it away, spins it toward the corner, and knocks it out of bounds just inside the 15-yard line.
Coach, sideline coach in America coaching college football.
First down just short of the Michigan State 41. Rick Myrer with Culver and Brooks behind him. Brooks again stumbling a little bit as he almost tripped over Culver. Rodney having thrown a block, but only gets something out of the play. Moves it down to about the 38-yard line for 3.5 yards. Ricky Waters back in now at the tailback position. Ismail comes in, and number 17 leaves. That's Sean Davis, a junior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, for the Irish. Number 83, Tony Smith, lanky fellow, 6'2", 180, wide to the bottom of the picture. Rocket on a reverse. They put him out just inside the 20, Mike Iaconello. Iaconello just got a piece of him.
Well, they like to get him the ball any way they can. This time lined up 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. He's going to be here. They're going to fake, and the reverse is going to come back around. Be a good look from the end zone. Trying to get him the ball. Now watch him as he sets up blocks, cuts inside. A good block there. Goes inside of Haller, the defensive back.
You just saw there, I think, too, why he is so difficult to handle. He has such good feet movement. He can change directions so quickly and so efficiently. It's just impossible to get a full load of it.
You know, Norm Parker, the defensive coordinator for Michigan State, thinks that he'd be a great running back. He's just happy that they don't have him in the backfield where he can get his hands on the ball more often.
Brooks back in now at tailback, and Bettis comes in at fullback. 6'1", 235-pound freshman from Detroit. Rodney Culver, the lone remaining back on second down and about 10. Myrer on option, turns inside, carries it for a yard or so, and is taken down. And this time, Chuck Bullock, the middle linebacker, got a substantial part of that tackle with help from William Reese. The defensive down people for Michigan State are Confer 260, Wilson 280, Reese 240, and Bill Johnson at 290.
Third down, 9.
While they have the size, they might quite likely lack a little bit of quickness. But the outside backers of Edwards and Jenkins are flyers for the Spartans. Third down, 9 for Notre Dame. Irish pass is caught by Rakib Ismail inside the 10. First down for the Irish, first and goal.
3 receivers to the wide side of the field again. Rocket is in the middle, just going to go down, delay, and allow the inside receiver, which is Brooks, number 40, to clear out. Not only does he have speed, but he has toughness, Keith. Look at him. 4 defensive backs coming at him. He gets upfield and makes the first down.
It's first and goal for the Irish at the Michigan State 8-yard line. Brooks in the backfield now with Culver. Culver to about the 5. I tell you, his brother ain't bad, the one playing at Syracuse, Quadri Ismail. He was within a half a breath of breaking 2 or 3 big plays against Michigan State. So Spartans are going to be glad to be finished with the Ismail family here pretty soon.
There is so much talent on this Notre Dame team, especially offensively. I mean, you look at the wide receivers, the running backs, they go 2 and 3 deep. That's why, you know, if there is a weakness, it's Rick Marr, not because he lacks ability, just because he lacks experience.
Second down and goal out of the full house backfield. Handed over to the left side to Ricky Waters. Waters, touchdown, Notre Dame.
Take a look at the offensive line, Serge. The offensive line pushing the green jerseys back.
Sexton holds for Hendrick, and it's good. So at 2:43, first quarter, the Fighting Irish get on the board and take the lead. State now. The Irish leading 7-0 in the first quarter, and Craig Hendrick will kick it off. Wind helps it a little bit. Craig knocks it way back, and they'll put it down. It'll come out to the 20. Arkansas is going to be a fun member of the SEC because there are a lot of reasons why they should be there. Tico Duckett. That's close to 4 yards on the carry. Ismail, 19 yards running, 19 yards receiving, and a 21-yard punt return that set up that touchdown march by the Irish. Ricky Waters scored the first 2 touchdowns of last year's game, and he got the first one today. There's a couple of quarterbacks. Big McGuire, the bigger of the McGuire boys, quarterbacking San Diego State, but of course Detmer doing his thing for BYU. Carrying the ball, Hickson. Highland Hickson is the bigger of the tailbacks for Michigan State. 220 versus 185 for Duckett. And Hickson is going to have a first down for Michigan State.
By bigger, you mean poundage, not height-wise. He's only 5'9".
Yep.
Of course, Duckett's only 5'10". And Perlis said yesterday in talking with him, he says, I've got 2 good running backs. And he says, I feel like I'm going to go with the guy that has the hot hand.
Be interesting to see if they stay with the run. This is Duckett. He's up to the 45-yard line, and another first down for Michigan State. Now, when you're moving the ball on the ground, and I guess maybe it's the old-fashioned side of me coming out, but I'll be jiggered if I can understand why you want to start throwing it when you're moving it on the ground.
Just straight blocking. Watch the 2 guards are going to come out and block the 2 linebackers. Everybody else is hat on hat. You hear about zone blocking or area blocking. That's just blocking the man that's straight in front of you and allowing the back to find the hole.
First down from the 44. Well, delay stuff like that, especially when you're hat on hat, that ain't going to fly much for you. George Perla said this about the ball game today as we talked to him yesterday.
Our kids are anxious to play Notre Dame. They understand one thing. In this setting, this is something that might never happen to them again. They go in undefeated. They play a team that's ranked #1 in the country. They're going to play them at home in front of the largest crowd in the history of Spartan Stadium. ABC, 3:30 game. The setting's just right. This is why you play football. This is why you compete like this. This is the finest setting that they'll have in their collegiate days.
Well, he threw the ball to Bradley. Hawkins, according to Bradley, was supposed to be the man, and he had turned back and was open.
Well, you see, Enos, he's unpleased with himself. He's pointing at himself. It's my fault. You also see his jersey flapping there. He's throwing into the wind. It's gusting. He has not had a good first quarter. When he turns around and